Hey, it's the nerdy sports fan. So the draft is over, and rosters are at their fully ballooned sizes. Most teams are at or way over the cap. There's a handful of them that are worse than others, though. So the standard roster size cuts that have to happen, for the most part, will clean up, people's salary cap situations. But not all the teams are going to be able to get away with just cutting the bottom third of their rosters. Some teams are going to have to do some interesting things, make some hard choices. And the New England Patriots are no stranger to this situation. So for years, they've been building around the concept of, hey, we can win right now. And when you do that, you spend money like you're going to be able to win right now. Well, Brady's gone. Gronk demanded a trade. They're stocking draft picks for the future. They're going to have to start getting their financial house in order, too, because currently they're $14 million over the cap. Again, there's going to be the standard roster size cuts. That's going to clean up a lot of that. But it's not going to fix all of it. There are going to be some interesting, if not difficult, decisions made. And Belichick has been doing this throughout his career. Belichick is the poster child of cutting players a year too early versus a year too late. So there's a couple of guys that, one obvious, one not so obvious, that in my mind are in dangerous waters right now. Oddly enough, considering the strengths and weaknesses of this team, both players are on the offense. So the first being Mohamed Sanu. Now, this is painfully obvious. This is a guy that's making $6+ million a year. Didn't exactly do much for the team last season. And he's the wrong side of 30. So I don't see him lasting on this roster very much longer. I don't necessarily think he wants to be on this roster very much longer, considering when veterans come to a team like the Patriots, they're coming to a team like the Patriots because they're getting balls thrown to them by Tom Brady. That doesn't happen anymore. So I expect Mohamed Sanu to be on a different roster as early as frickin' Tuesday, but probably more towards some semblance of actual training camp. The next one's not so obvious. Kind of should be, though. Julian Edelman. Now, I get it. He's the most important part of this offense. Hands down, the most important part of this offense. But considering the quarterback change, they might not be running the same kind of offense. One thing I can say very, very positively about the Belichick tenure in New England has been his ability to change what they do based off of, where their players' strengths lie. They haven't always been a dink and dunk yards after the catch offense. At one point, they were an over-the-top Randy Moss who's going to take on 3 dudes down the sideline offense. At one point, they were a power-running Antoine Smith-based offense, and they won Super Bowls during those years. So, look, they're going to figure out a way to make their offense work with whoever their personnel is. It's just who they are. And it may not be pretty. It may be leaning on the defense, because that's what was happening during the Antoine Smith years anyway. They're used to it. They're just going to find a way to win, however that may be. So, just because Edelman is the most important part of the offense that once was, doesn't mean he's going to be the most important part of the offense that will be. And when you consider all the factors, Belichick gets rid of players earlier rather than later. One, Julian Edelman is a free agent in a couple of years, in 2022. So it's close. 2, he's making $7.7 million a year on average. 3, as one of the highest paid players on the team. And he's definitely the wrong side of 30. The guy's, 32 years old now? All of those factors combine for me to think that 2 members of this wide receiver room are not going to be a part of the team by the start of the season. Both Mohamed Sanu and, yes, one Julian Edelman. So, tell me what you guys think. Some moves need to be made. And it's likely the older veterans that people have come to know and love that are on the chopping block. So, who do you think's on the outs with good old Bill Belichick? What do you think this team is going to do for their roster moving forward, considering we are now in the post-Brady era? Let me know in the comments. Hit up the rest of the videos, because the Patriots aren't the only team that is going to need to make some difficult financial decisions. A lot of the teams that have been in the playoffs a lot recently are in the same financial boat. So hit up those, see who's going to, in my mind, be cut by the other teams out there, and who's going to be available for you guys to pick up at likely a nice bargain price. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And as always, thanks for watching.